be fucking awesome. Come on, it's gonna be fucking awesome. You know the words. It's gonna be fucking awesome. That's it, say. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah!
Hey, it's me, Jesse Blaze Snider, the coolest geek alive. How you doing out there, coolest geeks? I hope you're doing really well. I'm super excited to share this one with you. I actually had planned another film that I was going to share with you, which I'm going to share with you next week, 13 Lives, which is pretty cool. It's a drama based on a real rescue mission that happened in Taiwan or somewhere. But I'll talk about that next week. Because somebody brought to my attention, just like I was on Twitter, and there was like a repost of like if you don't know this movie, you're not cool or whatever. And I went, oh my God, I love that movie. That's the best movie. So I Married an Axe Murderer. And the best thing about So I Married an Axe Murderer was, for me, as a father of four, as a guy whose girlfriend is a little younger than him, there's like different sorts of movies that my girl is less likely to have seen. And this fell into that category. It's like a little bit generationally away from her and right on mine. And then for my kids, I'm always looking to sort of introduce them to something that's like sort of like adult, so that you can talk about it and they can learn something from it or whatever, but at the same time isn't too adult that the conversations you're having are too adult. You want it to be right for the kids. And this summer, I'm in Orange County, out in Garden Grove, with my girl Julie and my babies, my two youngest, my 7-year-old Parker Pride and my 9-year-old Grayson Wayne. And So I Married an Axe Murderer is such a perfect movie for that whole group. Everybody there, I was like, oh my God, I gotta watch So I Married an Axe Murderer with you guys. So I mean, we did the popcorn thing and broke everything down like a little movie theater. I moved the couch close to the TV and stuff, and we all watched together. And fuck, man, sometimes you put on movies for friends or family or kids or whatever, and they're not laughing in the right places. They don't seem to be getting it. There's a lot of dead air. Not with this one. So I Married an Axe Murderer. I mean, like right out of the gate, they were laughing and they were getting it. And there's a lot of really interesting pieces to this movie that kind of become like, I don't know, scene stealing, just in how memorable they are because they're unique to this film. Like in particular, the main character, played by Mike Myers, is a beat poet. And he's not like a professional beat poet or anything, but he's somebody who goes down to these poetry clubs and, lets them play a little jazz thing. And he comes out and he says a whole bunch of, things that he wants to say about love and all these, what does he say? Woman, whoa, man. That's one of like the introductory bits. You see him like basically complaining about a previous relationship and a breakup. And the setup for the whole movie is that like he's always breaking up with these women for the wrong reasons. And like, for one reason or another, he's like, he discovers something insane about them. And he's just like, she's got a weird toe. And, it's kind of that George Costanza weirdness or that Shallow Hal weirdness. Have you seen that movie? The simple premise is great because basically it just sets him up to find the girl of his dreams and then fight with himself over all of the red flags that he sees that suggest that maybe she's a fucking axe murderer. And there's lots of red flags. But this movie is the thing that really makes it is just the way it's littered with all of these great sort of referential bits, that come back, like, because you go into that poetry club a few times, I think like 3 times throughout the movie, and he's doing different bits, and I mean, it's so, not that it's like, everything that he's saying is just, it's just the delivery and the deadpan and sort of the silliness of like boiling down these relationships to woman, whoa, man, and like venting all of his frustrations during this little poem. It's so genuinely conceptually funny that one of my good friends who I grew up with, Asia, shout out to Asia, she used to walk around just doing this bit all the time, and doing bits from So I Married an Axe Murderer, just in general, just generally quoting So I Married an Axe Murderer, doing the beat poetry, because it's genuinely that good. And then similarly, my father in my house was constantly quoting. And like I said, or I said this last, I started recording yesterday, and I had technical difficulties, and I had to throw out the whole episode. But my dad's a huge comedy fan in general, big SNL guy. Really liked Mike Myers back in the day on SNL, and Mike used to do a sketch. I forget what it's called. I think it was like the Scotch shop or like Scotch store, where they only sold things from Scotland. And he was like he basically very similar character to the character he plays as the father of Mike Myers in the movie. Mike Myers plays multiple characters in this. This is sort of a precursor to Austin Powers and The Love Guru or any other movie you might have seen, where he's playing multiple parts. He's playing only 2 parts in here, but the part he plays of his own father is this former butcher and with the really thick Scottish accent. And in particular, there's an ongoing joke between him and, I guess, what'll be Mike Myers' main character, his younger brother, who's still living at home with his dad and his mom. These Scottish people, and the joke is that the little brother's head is huge. He's got a huge head, and the father cannot stop making fun of him. And he just keeps yelling, "Heed! Here! No! Shut it!" He's just yelling at him about his big head. And like at a certain point, Mike Myers' friend, who's a police officer in the movie, he comes in. And he's basically goofing on his son's head. Oh, look at the size of his head. And he says, "Oh, it's a wee bit below the belt. He's going to go to sleep tonight and cry himself to sleep on his huge pillow." It's really funny shit, man. It's really, really funny shit. And my dad would just be quoting that all the time. "Heed, here, no, shut it." If you wanted one of the kids in the house, he'd just be like, "Heed, here, no, shut it." There's so many good parts of this movie. I mean, it's genuinely just so good. So Anthony LaPaglia plays Mike Myers' best friend, he's a police officer, and he's basically you get introduced to him at the beginning of the show. It's like these 2 guys are buddies, and Mike can't find a girl, or at least he can't find a girl that he doesn't find something wrong with, and his friend, the police officer, is a detective, and his story is separate and wonderful in its own way too. Basically, Anthony LaPaglia, you meet him at the station. He walks into the station, and his boss is trying to get a hold of him, and his boss is really, really nice, really nice, and he's finally Anthony LaPaglia is kind of ignoring him. He's like, and finally the boss comes over. He's like, "Hey, is everything okay, buddy? He's like, you want to talk about it?" kind of thing. And played by what's his name? He's great. He's not somebody whose name I freaking know off the top of my head. But I should have. Alan Arkin. I say that's he's so great. I mean, you've seen Alan Arkin in so many different things. He's been for Argo and Edward Scissorhands, a little bit of Sunshine, and Glengarry Glen Ross. He's really got a great deadpan sense of humor. He's so fucking great. And in this role, he is just awesome. He plays the police captain, and he's just super nice. And the whole thing is that the cop is disappointed being a detective. He doesn't like how nice the police captain is. He doesn't like that he can't take a car from somebody. What is it called? I'm taking this car. I'm gonna acquisition this. I don't know what they call it. I'm forgetting. But he's being a police detective isn't what I thought it would be. So the ongoing joke with Anthony LaPaglia and Alan Arkin is Alan Arkin's trying to improve his detective experience. He starts coming in yelling at him and calling him a wop and all these things. He's just trying to and every single time the scene ends and Anthony LaPaglia has to go, you see Alan Arkin sort of walking back through his performance. Was my performance good? He really wants to be the type of detective captain that'll make his detective excited about coming to work every day. It's that much funnier because the whole joke is that you're too nice, Captain. The captain is literally so nice that he's going to pretend to be a fucking asshole captain so that he can fucking, his detective is getting more the detective experience he was hoping for. It's just some silly shit, man. Harriet Michaels, which is the love interest, is played by Nancy Travis. You've probably seen her in a couple things. I don't remember what she's known for, but obviously Mike Myers is our main character, and he's great. He's just a great sense of humor and timing and good as per usual. Within the rest of the cast, you got Amanda Plummer, who plays Rose Michaels, the sister to the main love interest or whatever, and she's cool. And you got Charles Grodin making a very great cameo appearance as the driver who gets commandeered later in the movie. He's very uncooperative, and just with some very simple sort of eye movement, it's amazing. Phil Hartman's also got a quick little part in there, playing the guy who's running the tour for what is it, Alcatraz. And then, there's a couple little ones as well. Stephen Wright's got a tiny little part as the helicopter pilot. He's really funny. And there's a few different people who kind of come and go. Michael Richards and Mike Howard from Cheers. They have a little duo exchange. It's a real quick scene, but very funny. I was actually, you'll be really surprised sort of how great the cameos are, just done in one and people come in and go out. But everybody's got something to do. I mean, even just from the being Scottish and that tying into him having a background as a butcher, so that the romance early in the movie, you see it starts with she works as a butcher and he ends up basically offering, he's like, I could help you, you're backed up, I could come in and I could help, and that begins their romance. So the romance is really cute, all the comedy is really charming, but conceptually, the whole concept just established at the beginning. Oh, I'm this guy. I can't find the right girl. I'm always making excuses for why they're wrong for me. I've got this family. They're a little overbearing in this way or that. But the thing, I've got this friend who's a detective and he's a little disappointed in being a detective. Everybody's got their own thing to do. And it really is just a super satisfying comedy film. Honestly, I don't have too much, I don't like to spoil any of these things. I like to just tell you, go now and watch it. But I'm going to have my kids come in just real quick to tell you what they thought of the movie. Oh, and by the way, if you're a West Wing fan, Sports Night, this is one of the executive producers and directors, the West Wing, and somebody, the director, producer of this flick is really pretty cool. She was the executive producer on Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, which was a total favorite show of mine, even though there was only one season that came out of that. Clearly very talented person. This movie, it's Thomas Chalamet. Is that right? Yeah. And then writer Robbie Fox wrote this thing, and he's written some cool movies too. The Man from Toronto, In the Army Now, which is fun, Playing for Keeps, and Granddaddy Daycare. Oh, wait, I didn't see Granddaddy Daycare. But The Man from Toronto was awesome. Look, man, it's just a fucking awesome movie. Let me show you what my 7-year-old and my 9-year-old thought. Okay, this is my daughter, Parker Pride Snider. She is 7, about to be 8 years old. Parker, what did you think about this PG-13 movie that came out in 1993 called So I Married an Axe Murderer, as someone who was only born just 7 years ago? What'd you think?
I loved it. I rated it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah? What was your favorite part? Anything that you found particularly funny?
The main character was very, very funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to get Grayson now. Okay, Grayson Wayne Snider, my 9-year-old son, almost going to be 10. What did you think of this PG-13 1993 film, So I Married an Axe Murderer?
I thought it was an awesome film. I liked it. I liked the guy who played the role in the
Mike
boy.
Myers.
Yeah, Mike Myers. if that's his name, I don't know. And I liked it a lot because, like, I don't really like horror movies, but this is a funny horror movie. If it's a funny horror movie, I like it. And I just thought it was the funniest movie that I've seen in a while because I've seen a bunch of movies with him in it, and he's the funniest guy. So, yeah, I liked it a lot.
Well, there you have it right there, my coolest geeks. The 9-year-old and the 7-year-old and my girl Julie, we all fucking loved it. They all thought it was really great, and we laughed our asses off. I highly recommend this movie to anybody. I mean, like, I've been laughing about this movie for freaking, 40 years now. I'm really happy to be one of the people who is in the know to tell you how great this movie is. And I hope that this leads to thousands and thousands and thousands of more people checking it out and keeping it in the, keeping it in the zeitgeist of our minds. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Of course, I do this show every Wednesday, and every Saturday I do the coolest picks. Monday nights I do a show called All Your Favorite Bands Suck. Every Friday I'm doing a show called Everything They Don't Want You to Know. All Your Favorite Bands Suck is just a feature of all of my favorite bands. We've done like 30-something of them so far. And Fridays, I teach you esoteric information. I teach you what the Freemasons are teaching their people. Teach you what the Illuminati and the Skull and Bones are teaching their people. These are things that they don't want you to know. They're concepts that they don't want you to understand. But if you'd like to understand them, come at me, dog. Come follow me on the thing. Anyway, I want to thank everybody again for helping us to raise over $12,000 for Our Future #1. My company, Blacklight District Studios, which makes comic books and music. We are just like thrilled, and we're so excited to like produce this book and get it out there. I mean, the book's all produced, but I mean, like, to produce the physical copies and to ship them out to everybody. But we're excited. If you were late to the game and you want to still get in on it, you can go to our website. It's www.bldsts.com. BLDSTS, Blacklight District Studios. BLDSTS.com. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. I hope you'll join me again next Saturday, and of course again this coming Wednesday for another fucking awesome episode of The Coolest Geek Alive! Yeah! You've been listening to Coolest Geek Alive with me, your host, Jesse Blaze Snider. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more excellent geek culture content. Thanks for listening.
It's my favorite part! Isn't that heavy? I'll play that. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Coolest alive. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Stay with your tribe. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Revenge of the Geeks. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Week after weeks. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Laughing with you. It's gonna be fucking awesome. And crying sometimes too. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Spelling it out. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Making you shout. I'm a genius. I got lyrics coming out me bum for days. You like that? It's a kazoo solo. I played that too. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Talking some shit. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Living your shit. My voice is fucking awesome. Food in our mouth. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Get in the mouth. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Tell all your friends. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Call right or text. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Raising the bar. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Straight to the stars. It's gonna be fucking awesome. It's starting soon. Straight to the top of the awesome. Passing the moon. It's gonna be fucking awesome. On with the show. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Ready, set, go. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Just wait. You'll see. You'll all see.
The podcast
Playground. Hooray!